Hello students, today we are going to see about learning and memory. So learning, as we all know, we keep learning throughout our life. So studying is different and learning is different. Learning is learning about life, learning about everything that we do in our life. And memory, as you all know, memory is a storage capacity of our brain. So today we are going to see about learning and memory. First, let us start with learning, with the meaning and its types of learning. So, learning. The meaning of learning is acquisition of knowledge, skills, behaviors, or attitudes through experience, study, or instruction. So, we gain knowledge and skill and behavior or attitudes or the thought process by either by studying or by experiencing or by receiving instruction. You know how to eat, so that is the instruction or the experience that you gain from your childhood. Your parents teach you how to eat with your right hand, how to eat without spilling the food, so how to chew the food and eat. So these are the instruction given by your parents or your caretakers. So you gain that knowledge or a skill or a behavior how to eat with cleanliness. So this you gain through experience over the years. So this is a example of learning. So it is a fundamental aspect of human cognition. Cognition is nothing but receiving information from the stimulus or the stimuli around you, and you respond according to it. You understand and analyze and organize those information in your brain, and you act accordingly. So that is called cognition. And behavior, your acting part is called behavior. The understanding part is cognition and your acting part is the behavior, and occurs throughout your lifetime. So learning can be defined as acquisition of knowledge, skills and behaviors through what? Experience, study or instruction. So this is very fundamental for all of us. Anything, any of your behavior is an outcome of your cognitive understanding of the situation. So this happens throughout our life. You keep changing. You understand something today, so you change your behavior according to it the next day. You understand a person that person is very angry, so you try to stay away from that person. So your cognition and behavior, you have learned how to handle a person who's angry. So learning not only is related to studies what you are doing. Learning is a fundamental aspect of your life. So there are different types of learning we have. So learning can be categorized based on different criteria, method of acquisition and nature of the material being learned, based on what you learn and the context, everything. So based on that we have different types of learning. The first type is explicit learning. Explicit learning is you take, explicit means expressive, which is seen outside, which can be observed. Okay, explicit. So this learning happens when you have an intention or a conscious effort to learn something new. So this is through formal instruction such as classroom teaching or training program. Say you want to learn how to drive a car, so you take an effort, you take an interest and you go to a driving school and you get a formal instruction through a teacher or someone who gives you a training. He teach you the instruction how to start the car, how to use the accelerator, how to press the brake and how to take reverse. All that you are getting a formal instruction. You want to learn how to do cooking, so you go for a cooking class. So this type of learning is explicit learning because you are taking your own interest and you intentionally go and learn something through a formal training. The education what you are getting from colleges, it is an explicit learning. Implicit learning is which is learned through your life, throughout your life, but without your own awareness. You don't know when you learnt it. But you learnt it. So it was not through a conscious awareness, but still you learned certain things. Like I told you, the earlier example is how to eat, how to take a bath. Okay, all these things you have learned in your life, but if I ask you when you started learning, you won't remember. because these happens without a conscious awareness, something which happens in your life because something you learned because you are exposed to that experience continuously. So you gain that information and it is more automatic. So this type of learning is more intuitive and automatic. Okay. The next is associative learning. Associative, the word itself means you form association between two or more things. Okay. For example, if you throw a stone at a dog, it will bark at you or it will chase you. So this is an associative learning. If you put your hand in the fire, it will burn. So you are doing something and you are getting a response. So you are associating this behavior and the response. So this is called associative learning. That is through a stimulus and response. Your stimulus is you are putting your hand in the fire is the stimulus. Response is your hand is getting burnt. So you know, when I put my hand in the fire, I am going to hurt my finger. So this is the association that you have learned. For example, when the children go to a doctor, they'll start when they see the injection, they'll start crying. That means the child has learned that that object which the nurse is taking in the hand is going to hurt me. This learning had happened in the previous experience. So we connect the stimulus and the response. This is called classical conditioning or an operant conditioning. So through the stimulus response you learn, or sometimes you learn through reinforcement and punishment. Reinforcement is nothing but when you do something, if you get a positive response, then you think that your behavior is appreciated, so you keep doing that behavior. For example, when you get a high mark in a subject, the teacher appreciates you in front of the class. She asks everyone to clap hands for you. So your behavior of learning well or your behavior of getting first mark is being reinforced. So next time you want to keep up that good name or you want to get more mark and more appreciation. So that behavior you learned is getting appreciated. You will want to do it more and more. You learn to do it more and more. For example, if you come late to college, if you come for 5 minutes late and the gate is closed, so you learned and you are sent back home and there is no attendance for you on that day. So you learned that if I'm going to be late to college today, I'm going to lose my attendance. So this behavior is not appreciated by the college. Or when you express your anger in front of everybody, your friend stop talking with you. So that particular behavior is not appreciated by your friend. You are not getting a positive response from your friend. So next time you will think before shouting at your friend in front of everybody. So some behavior which are appreciated and reinforced, you tend to repeat that behavior. You learned that my behavior is appreciated, so I do it again and again. There are some behaviors which are punished or which are not appreciated, which gives you a negative response, then we will not do it again. So this associative learning helps you how to do, what to do, and when to do, what not to do. So this is called associative learning. Next is cognitive learning. As I told earlier, cognitive is nothing but an understand or receiving information from the stimuli, understanding and organizing that information, and coming into an taking that as a thought process. So this is a cognitive learning. It focuses on understanding the concept, reasoning, applying the knowledge in various contexts. This is a life skill. Okay, so as you are growing, so you learn about so many things that is happening around you. So you shape your behavior according to it. You think critically, analyze, and you solve your life problems, and you take effective decisions. After 10th standard, you know which group to take. So you are thinking, I am very weak in maths, I cannot go into one maths group. But I am very interested in commerce, I want to start my own business, I want to flourish in the field of commerce and business, so let me go into business. So you have an critical thinking, and you are solving a problem of what to study, and you are deciding this is the course I am going to study. So this is a cognitive, this you have gained over years. And there is some problem at home, so you're thinking about it and you're coming to a solution. You're speaking to your mother about what you have decided. So this is a cognitive learning. So understanding concept and reasoning. When you are studying, you have to understand so many concepts, or you have in life you understand so many concepts of how to manage anger, how to express yourself in an acceptable way, everything. And reasoning, when something bad happens to you, instead of sitting and crying, we think why this has happened, what has gone wrong. So we will think and analyze the situation, and the knowledge that we have earned in our previous experiences, we will apply that knowledge in the future context. So this is cognitive learning. Next is motor learning. Motor itself is a name which gives the meaning. Motor is the moving, motor skills. Motor skills which involves a physical task, running, cycling, um, riding a bike, a car. So which need a motor skill, a physical task which involves more movement effectively. So motor learning, how we all learn to ride a bicycle, then we learn to ride a bike, then a car. Some are very good in operating a flight, some are good in using they are using trains and any heavy vehicles. Okay, so that is motor learning. Each will have a specific set of skills. Next is social learning. Social learning is nothing but we see people, we observe people in the society, we try to follow them, and we try to use them as model, and we shape our behavior. So when you take someone as a role model, and we try to imitate whatever they are doing, because the role model is someone who's appreciated by everybody, so you also want to get appreciated by them, like them, and so you also start behaving like that role model. So that's social learning. Next is experiential learning. This is something, the word indicates experience, which you get through direct experience and reflection. Like you do a science experiments during your school days to learn something with experiment. So when we do something, this is what will happen. So you're getting an hands-on activity. You do a science experiment, and when you're doing mathematics, when you're doing an problem solving, applying that solution. And in the real world also, you sometimes we have to apply such knowledge to solve the problems. Next is self-directed learning. You learn something by yourself, you take responsibility of something, you take an initiative, and you set some goals, and you direct all your energy into it, and you have used all the opportunities. I want to become a doctor, so that is your aim when you were small, so you start studying according to it. You always get good marks in biology. Then now you have to go for a NEET coaching or something, so you join a NEET class, and you go according to the timetable. You put extra effort in doing it and getting a good score and going into one medical school. So this is a self-directed learning. So you use all the opportunities, you identify the resource. So you have a goal, you identify the resource, and you use all the opportunities to acquire the knowledge and the skill, so that you do what you want to do. So these are the learning method. Now we are going to see about memory. Memory, as we all know, it's a capacity for our brain to store, encode, store and retrieve information. Without memory, we cannot do anything in our life. If I forget everything today, what will I do tomorrow? So memory plays a very important role, particularly in learning and behaving. So to learn something, we need our memory. So this memory process is registration, retention and recall. So we are going to see about memory in the coming slides. So there are some features about memory that I would like to share. So we won't be able to remember what we did yesterday, what we have done today, or what we plan tomorrow. So nothing is possible without memory. So it is involved in the processing of vast amount of information. It is a very big computer very small when compared to your brain, the information that we are storing. Okay, it is done, storing is done, you usually used as images, sound and meaning. So first process of memory is registration. So all the information that you gain around you, what you are getting from the environment, is registered in your memory as sound, as sight, as smell, as a taste or a feeling. So in this way the information are stored in your memory. Next is retention. Retention is bringing it back. Whenever you want, you retrieve the information. It's like a computer. You store something in the computer. Next day is the exam, so you want to take notes. Take the notes which is stored in your computer. So you go to that particular file and you open that lesson. You will get the notes. So retention. So that is what the information which are registered or retrieved whenever we are needed. Next is recall. Recall is retrieving the stored information from the memory. So we do it with a conscious effort. Such recalling the facts or events may happen spontaneously in your response and prompts from the environment. So that we have three types of memory: sensory memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Sensory memory is nothing but the information that you can store for few seconds. Okay, only for few seconds you can store certain memory. For example, an OTP number. That OTP number is stored in your memory for few seconds. Once you enter the OTP and you start running that program, you forget that OTP very next minute. So it will stay in your memory for only very few seconds. But if you keep doing it again and again, that will go into your short-term memory. Short-term memory is you can hold that information little more longer than the sensory memory. Immediate processing, like a phone number. You see a phone number, you type the phone number, you dial that person. Since till you are dialing and typing that number, you will have that in your memory. But if you keep dialing that number every day, that will go into your long-term memory. So long-term memory is nothing but is responsible for storing all the information for a long period of time. But you may not remember everything what is stored in a long-term memory because it is divided into many processes. Whenever we need, we retrieve those information from the long-term memory. So from the short-term memory, through rehearsal and repetition, the information is stored into long-term memory. So first is explicit memory. Explicit memory is the information about the past event, fact, and experience. Okay. First one is episodic memory. Episodic memory is nothing but the events or incidents that happen at particular point of your time. You save them as episodes. For example, if I ask you, when did you go for a school tour? You may say, when I studied 5th standard. How did you remember? Because that is an episodic memory. When you studied 5th standard, you went for a tour with your friends from school. So this is an episodic memory that happens in particular point of your life. They are saved as or stored as episodes. Next is semantic memory is nothing but the information regarding the language, concept, okay, or general knowledge, everything stored into semantic memory, including the world facts. Next one is implicit memory. This is a non-declarative memory. That is, implicit memory refers to the unconscious retention and influence of past experience on behavior and performance. It includes procedural memory for skills and habits from various forms of conditioning, and such as classical and operant conditioning. That is, which happened in your past, which is stored in your memory without your own effort or unconscious retention, that will come into your memory, come into consciousness. So I hope you all understand the concepts of learning and memory from this video. Thank you.